Years after his master's death, Singh, a former Shaolin monk, has a vision to bring Shaolin Kung Fu to the masses. To achieve his vision, he must reunite his 5 former Shaolin brothers to help him. His vision: to apply their superhuman martial arts skills to play the game of soccer. This is the Cult Faction Podcast, episode 81, Spotlight on Shaolin Soccer.
Superman.
Fix it in the edit.
Greetings. This is the Cult Faction Podcast, episode 81, Spotlight on Shaolin Soccer. Why Shaolin Soccer? Because it's the World Cup, you fools, and we wanted to get in our own little unique World Cup tribute. Before that, though, the World Cup's been rocking on, and so is the Cult Faction office here. My name is Brett Summers. I'll be joined tonight by...
Damien Hicks.
And Paul Hawkins.
And guys, what's been happening?
Well, we were dark last week. We didn't have a podcast last week because this numbnut sat here.
He's referring to himself.
Yes. Managed to chop the end of his finger off. So there's a trip to A&E, and I was in a lot of pain on Tuesday, so I wasn't in the mood.
There's a quiz tonight, and you get to win that bit of the finger. I know. What are you going to say, Silver?
Well, I was going to say, no, he battled through. He got through the dinner, and then he had to go to A&E.
Yeah, so this was a Saturday night. I was there chopping chicken and ready to make a Thai curry. I don't know how it happened. Brand new knife, just sliced through the fingernail, straight onto the chopping board.
It was a good curry.
It was good, wasn't it?
Bit redder than I thought it was going to be.
What was that mystery ingredient?
No, the tip of the finger I definitely put in the bin because Sarah didn't believe me that it was actually my finger until I picked it up off the chopping board and said, "Look."
Oh, have you got like a stump now?
Yeah, it's not just I didn't just slice it. I literally took off like, I don't know, a centimetre of my finger.
Damien Hicks available for bar mitzvahs and.
Yeah.
I mean,
rabbi.
I don't know what that means for my guitar playing though. I am genuinely concerned about that.
Hey, so was Tony Iommi.
Yeah, but he was a much better guitarist than I am. So, this could be it. This could be me selling my Les Paul, selling my Ibanez, the works.
I think we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Well,
Yeah.
I've had nightmares.
Our tribute episode will come out later this month.
I'll never get to re-record our opening theme tune again.
Will be a fingerophone or something. Anyway, what have you been watching, Paul, before I get into more trouble?
Oh, what have I been watching?
Oh,
wow.
We don't care about your week.
Wow,
No,
there
we're
we
not
go.
interested.
We've
We've been gone for 2 weeks.
It was going down.
No.
It was going down a dirty road, and I just pulled it back quickly.
It's not like it was my little boy's birthday or anything like that. But hey, moving on to films and TV.
All right, tell
Wow.
us. I was just trying to pull out of a nosedive
Okay,
that was
so-
getting really rude.
You know me, and you know that sometimes I like to watch stuff off the beaten track, as it were.
With Ryan Reynolds in.
Sponsored by Aviation Gin. Oh, we should do that for our TikTok. Get a link on there.
Yeah, that's an idea.
Ooh.
Yeah, get him to sign a couple of bottles.
Yeah.
He probably would as well.
No, we'll get free tickets to Wrexham.
So, I'd do that.
Yeah,
I got
so
locked
would I
up for
actually.
Wrexham. What you got to get into
Yeah.
Wrexham?
It's miles away.
It's not that
I
far.
want to go there, but it's miles away.
You can get a
it's not.
train.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
make a
In
day
this
of it.
country.
Well, it'd be in February or something, so make
Yeah.
a day of
Yeah.
it. Get
My
a train.
birthday.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, anyway.
We're not doing GNR this year, not at Hyde Park.
I ain't
The rubbish
standing there for
sound,
20 hours.
And James Brown. That's only relevant to anyone that actually watched James Brown at Hyde Park.
Yeah.
We did
What's
find someone the other week.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
How you doing, Manny? Anyway, back to you, Paul.
Okay, so as I think I was saying in a previous life, I like to watch things a bit off the beaten track, sometimes from Korea. So in a similar vein,
You've been warned about that.
I decided to give something a go called Wednesday. Now, you guys may not have heard of it. You know, it's only a little thing that's kicking around. But yeah, Wednesday on Netflix.
Meclady.
Yeah, so Brett, I know you've seen it as well.
Don't drop me in it yet. Damien gets angry.
I really, really enjoyed it. I'm not going to lie. I know that's not really, the done thing because it's so popular and everyone's saying it, but I really liked it. Jenna Ortega.
Ortega, that sounds right.
Yeah. I think she does a sterling job in it. I like the other Adams in it. I think Tim Burton has actually done something that isn't. I was going to say he's just not relying on the normal faces that he brings out of the woodwork every couple of years to do one of his films.
Look, it's kooky Tim Burton.
Actually, for the content that he had at his disposal, he's actually toned it down.
Yeah, he's restrained himself, I feel, quite well.
But no, I really enjoyed it, and he's actually done a decent crossover to TV in a sterling job. It feels like a TV series as opposed to a big blockbuster film. But I think it all the more for that, actually.
Yeah, no, I think it's, for Tim Burton, it's letting the characters actually come out of the film, out of the story more and develop, rather than it just being a Tim Burton painting that looks kooky and gothic and smoky and mysterious. There are actually characters in this you get a chance to actually see develop and grow, whereas a lot of his films, it's very much, here's what they are, look, aren't they weird? Ooh.
Yeah.
And
also the supporting actors, they shine as well. And they're not all kooky. And yes, they do have special powers and all that kind of good stuff, but some of them are quite underplayed. Yes, it's a bit predictable. We all kind of know how it's going to end and who's...
I didn't think it was predictable as it was going to be.
Oh, really?
It was predictable. I thought it was going to be a lot more almost paint by numbers, lead you along. But there were a few little twists and turns and little things.
I kind of got it as soon as I saw...
Well, yeah, I mean... but it wasn't as, like some things. It's just like, here's the baddie and the music changes and all that. It's left enough... I think if you're a 12, 13-year-old watching this who the kids are loving it, who don't get all that, I think you're going to enjoy it, and then we can pick up on the Easter eggs and the references and the... Yeah.
I'm not, as I said, I'm not going to lie, it's the most watched show I think Netflix has had.
Since the last one.
Since the last one, yeah. But I think it deserves it. And yeah, I can't wait for season 2. And it was nice to watch something... You don't have to think about it too much. Looks really good. Danny Elfman did the soundtrack. And that was another thing. The soundtrack is really cool. Painted black on the cello.
Cellos, yeah.
And some of the other stuff she plays. It's just, really good.
Was there some Metallica on cello? There was something else on cello, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really good. I really enjoyed it. I felt everyone in it done their best. The sheriff was cool. I've forgotten his name now, but he ended up being the mayor in Sons of Anarchy. And they did a favour for him in the first one when the clown tried to steal his kid. And then he said, oh, well, you'll owe us a favour later on. But
I think I know you mean. I haven't watched.
He's been in
Wednesday.
other stuff.
I think he was in Walking Dead as well.
Yeah, he's been in most things recently. But a few other people pop up and disappear again. And I thought it was really good.
Yep.
And it ends well enough. I mean, it follows the child literature derivative of the parents away, the kids at the school, and it all fits in a school term, which like Potter and everyone else. But that's classic literature.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, I
was genuinely surprised about how much I like it.
I thought it was going to be sort of Dawson's Creek with Wednesday Adam. It's so teeny angsty kind of.
But the nice thing is that there is that in it. It's not too over the top.
But there's also some blood, guts, and gore.
But you still included it for like the tweens or whatever they refer to. Looking forward to the second series whenever that comes out.
It was probably another year now.
At least, yeah.
But it was a pleasant surprise.
And the only one that I really want to talk about this week.
Now, bear in mind, I can't find the spoiler bell.
Oh, no.
Okay.
So
ding.
I've managed not to give any spoilers away for Wednesday.
You did. This is true.
And the only other one, because we kind of got into a festive spirit, is Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special.
Yeah. Have you seen that yet?
No, of course I haven't.
No.
There's no capes.
You need. There's
Do
no,
I though?
There's no capes, and there is bacon.
Kevin Bacon.
Oh right, I mean, like bacon.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
and so I know this
And
has
it's only
got
like 30-40 minutes.
45. Yeah, this has already got rave reviews pretty much everywhere,
It's
and
just fun.
yeah, and they've done it. He's done it. James Gunn has done a holiday special.
It's
that
a bit
deserves
emotional and fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
everything.
I really enjoyed it.
Everything with the starting off with the cartoons.
Yeah, they're merging into the live action. No, he's
Yeah. I'm not going to say too much about it because I think everyone that's been on Twitter probably knows everything about it. It gets you where it's supposed to get you. It's all sentimental. There's a bit of action, a bit of comedy. Typical James Gunn.
and a few little Marvel revelations and Easter eggs for what's to come with Guardians of the Galaxy 3 next. I think it's May.
Yeah, the trailer just dropped for that.
Yeah. So.
It was almost like it was planned.
Yeah, I know. Listen to that, DC. Although now they got James Gunn,
So that's all I've been watching, and the only other thing is an audiobook, which is We Are Legion, We Are Barb, by Dennis E. Taylor, voiced by Ray Porter. Someone else.
That
Ray
rings a
Porter.
bell.
He Darkseid of Justice League,
Oh yeah.
and a million other vocal
Yeah, no,
talents.
definitely know that. Yeah.
So it's about a guy that dies, but he's rich and he's basically signed up to a cryogenics thing, but he's brought back to life. But he's actually AI, and he's been given a mission to go off and hunt strange new worlds and find planets.
Wasn't
and
that
this kind of
Altered
stuff.
Carbon?
So he literally is just AI in a spaceship.
Oh, okay.
Think more Asimov 2001, something like that. You know, it's good. It's fine. It is what it is. Ray Porter actually does a sterling job of the narration. Almost finished it. Got half hour left. Give it a
Oh,
listen.
and the gang.
That's me done. We out.
Okay.
Boom.
Damien.
See, I forgot we do this. So whilst you've been wittering away, I've been trying to remember. I did start to watch and finished that thing you talked about the other week with the witches. I've already forgotten what it's called. The devil himself and the bastard,
The bastard
son.
son and the devil
Yeah.
himself.
It was all right. It's a bit predictable.
Yep.
From the off, I knew, well, he's going to be the baddie in the end, isn't he? But it's good fun for a kind of teen drama, I suppose.
Kind of late teeny.
Yeah. There's a bit more going on than just what you would normally get. So that was pretty cool.
And the French dude's quite cool.
Yeah, I liked him.
Yeah.
Like modelled him. They'd certainly modelled him on Kiefer Sutherland in Lost Boys.
Yeah. Apart from the vodka drinking
Yeah. So that was cool.
and the gay tendencies.
Yeah.
Not there's anything wrong with that. It's just Kiefer Sutherland
Didn't do that in.
didn't do that.
no.
I suppose that would have been a
Different
completely
time.
different film.
Yeah.
Lost Girls.
What else have I watched? Second season of Warrior Nun, and as always, I spent the first 6 episodes trying to remember what happened in season 1.
I saw that drop,
Yeah.
but then I thought you weren't that fussed about the first season.
It's not bad. It's actually not too dissimilar to the Bastard
Second
Son
season.
thing. Yeah, but as in because it's pitched at that same
Right.
age group, but there is more blood and gore than you would get on Buffy or something like that.
Cool.
You know what I mean? It's a bit
Well,
more.
I might give that a watch then.
But the problem is I can't remember what happened in the first season, so I spent 6 episodes trying to remember who's who and what's what, and then it finished after 8 episodes, and I'm like, I think I enjoyed it, but I think the first season was like a year before lockdown, so that it's taken this long for the second one to be made.
They're all 30 now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so there's a couple of characters, well, at least one character missing, which I'm guessing maybe, like,
Yeah.
you know, the actress playing her is just now too old to be in it, so they got rid of her. I don't know, but I think that's it.
Okay.
I've been in a lot of pain, and I've been in and out of hospital. Not in and out of hospital, but I've been under the care of the hospital. So
Oh. Were you watching Finger Mouse on CBeebies or something? Take your mind off it. What have I been watching?
there's a TikTok video in the making. Finger Mouse. I've forgotten about that. What was his name? Bob.
Bob is some sort of with Bob like with a beard.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm sure his name was Bob.
I used to like
Oh no,
the
is that because it was Finger Bob's, wasn't it?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I think that was why it was.
Could be why it was called.
I want to say
Finger
Bob
Bob.
Cratchit.
Didn't they
It
have the
wasn't
little-
Bob Cratchit? I know, but I think it was something like
Didn't
that.
they have the little tortoise in it? as
Yeah.
well?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one.
But yeah, for me,
Anyway, don't Google it. Let's not
I'm
go
not
down that route.
googling it. I'm talking about what I'm watching.
Okay.
Why did you need to Google it then?
I'm not. I'm talking about what I'm watching. You don't know.
He's just looking to see what's cool, what's trending at the
Yeah.
moment. He's going to say he's
Yeah.
watched it.
No, no. I finished Andor, the
Oh,
Star
I've not even
Wars.
started that yet.
Probably the best Star Wars series that they've done of anything.
What, you mean better than the classic that is Boba Fett?
Yeah, but this is like, but it's also the realest they've done. It's a weird contrast. This is, if you took Star Wars out of it, this may as well been sort of like 70s, 80s, early 90s Derry. This could have been somewhere, you know, like where you've got like a city where people are trying to survive and there's like a military force present
Bit
in
like,
it.
why don't you?
Oh, oh man, that's almost as funny as when Michael Cole used to resent fingernails. No, but yeah, it's dark, it's gritty. It's not that funny. It's like a proper. If you just said it wasn't Star Wars, they probably would have won like Emmys or whatever it is, you know, in America, because it would have been a gritty drama series showing like resistance against a military
occupying
presence, an
force,
occupying
yeah.
force type thing. But because it's Star Wars, there isn't even that many like spaceship lightsabery stuff. It is the real proper avenues and alleyways, you know, corners of the universe, you know, the grit and the grime shit.
It's what the Mandalorian should have been, but the
That's what the
Mandalorian
book-
should have been
It's
more
what the book.
gangster.
It's what the Book of Boba Fett
Oh, yeah,
should have
sorry,
been.
yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
you're right though. I know what you mean.
I always
yeah.
get confused because we all know that the Book of
Yeah.
Boba Fett was better when the Mandalorian was in it.
Hell yeah.
You're right. Season 3 of that comes out.
Yeah, it's got to be soon, isn't it?
March, I think it's March.
Oh, is it
it's
that far away?
They've said a date now, but I've forgotten it now. But yeah, no, really good. Highly recommended. But I don't know if I had younger kids who are into Star Wars, if I'd let them watch it. Because it
That's
really
not
is.
a bad thing.
Yeah, because it really is that kind of grit and grime to it. And yeah, definitely recommended for the older fans. But some people might not like it because there might not be enough lightsabers in it or something, you know.
Not going to get much or Lego then.
No.
Well, I mean, you used to get Rambo action figures, so why the hell not?
And the Force of Freedom, or the Freedom Force. Yeah, they made it into a cartoon. But yeah, but no, really good. I've also finished now. They're all on Disney Plus. What We Do in the Shadows, the latest series of that.
Nah.
That's really good. It's got better again
It's
because
not. It's just stupid.
they reinvented it a little bit with what they've done to Colin Robinson. Spoilers, ding ding, and that kind of played out over this series of what happened to him and the results of that. And that bit was really cool. There was some really good stuff there. But it is what it is. It's a fun sort of half hour, 40 minutes. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you'll look down your nose at it and think you're far superior.
It's got
Rather
nothing
than
to
just
do.
let you-
No,
I
no,
wasn't it. What?
no.
Why are you saying that's aimed at you? I'm just making a comment.
Just because of the way you looked at me when you said it. That would be
Look,
why.
what, looking straight at you. No, it's fun. And also, I had an additional bonus of, as I was flicking through, because I haven't been on Disney Plus for a while, you know that bit where it says, like, continue watching?
Mhm.
And Solar Opposites was on there, and I'd missed a Halloween special.
Oh my word!
I know, not anymore. now I'm waiting. There's got to be a Christmas one now. If they're doing Halloween, there must be a Christmas one. And that was really cool as well. And I think that's all I've watched, really.
Cool.
That I can remember. That isn't the World Cup. Football,
Yeah,
football.
exactly, this is it.
Hooray. Yeah. So anyone else remembered anything?
Not for this week.
Okay.
スポットライト
The year was 2001, and Stephen Chow's Shaolin Soccer took the world by storm. It was the first accessible martial arts movie for everyone, families, children, they all loved it, and Chow became a mainstream name finally to the Western world. The over-the-top CG and kinetic soccer moves were an inspiration that came from the classic Japanese manga series Captain Tsubasa. The animation was very big in Hong Kong over the last 10 years, and it swept all the kids up, and Chow cashed in on that and brought it to mainstream cinema. But it wasn't always possible with pen and ink, though. He was waiting for this idea for many years until CGI caught up with the vision he had. Chow wanted the film to appeal to a global audience, stating, "I can't rely on the local market because it's too small. So since Shaolin Soccer, it's always been my ambition to go international." And he sure did. That was one breath.
I wondered if you were going to implode at one
I was
point.
trying to get the time back, Paul. When it came to casting, apart from several veteran actors, Chow stated in many interviews that he cast several people in his entourage who had no prior acting experience before Shaolin Soccer. For example, Lem Ching Chung, who played Lightweight, had worked as Chow's screenwriter, and Danny Chak Kwan Kwan, Empty Hand, was the dance choreographer hired to design the Michael Jackson dance number that followed Singh and Mew's first meeting early in the film. Chow comments he made Chan wear Bruce Lee's yellow and black tracksuit because only the goalkeeper can wear a special uniform. Tin Can Mei, Iron Shirt, had been Chow's production manager on several movies, but had acted in numerous minor roles in previous films. For instance, he played a young wannabe triad member in Chow's preceding movie King of Comedy. We also had Cecilia Chung and Karen Mock, who appeared as the Team Dragon players in Shaolin Soccer, but they'd also had major roles in his previous film King of Comedy. Chow defended his decision to hire non-actors, saying, "In terms of finding talent, I tried to bring out the funniest thing I noticed about them during casting. If it made us laugh at the casting, it will also do that on the big screen."
Fair dues.
Zhao Wei, who played the Mandarin-speaking Mew, said it was a different step for her to start in a Hong Kong production. Zhao admitted that she was not impressed with her look in the film with less makeup because she is easily recognisable by her beautiful appearance.
Someone thinks a lot of themselves.
Mm.
Yeah. Apparently she was like a beautiful like pop star, pop idol type thing, and they like made her sort of like bold at the end.
Yeah.
But I think that was the joke, but I don't think she liked being the joke.
Didn't necessarily like that.
Yeah. 3 of the principal cast members have been in Chow's Kung Fu Hustle, which followed the film, and he kept the same cast around him through the various other projects that he worked on since then. So it's kind of a bit of an entourage film, a bit like reminds me a bit like a Peter Kay or someone like that, who just has the people around him.
I was
puts them
thinking
in.
of Kevin Smith keeping those
Or
same,
Kevin Smith, yeah, I like
same
that. Yeah.
actors.
Anchorman or an Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
So
list is endless, isn't
So
it?
it happens everywhere. But then, if you've got people you can work with and you get on with,
Yeah. The Carry On films.
carry on. Yeah. And
Some of those Marvel films have some of the actors in a few times as well,
Yeah.
don't they?
I
so
wouldn't know.
before we go into plot, as it was my selection, I already knew about it. First impressions, Paul.
Hold on, when you say first impressions,
So, like, when we said, hey, we're going to watch Shaolin Soccer, and as you sat down, what were you
I think
thinking?
I only remembered like a flash back from like 20 years ago or whenever. You know, I saw it around at the time. I had no interest in it.
Well, that was
Okay.
cheery, wasn't it?
Well, no, but I genuinely couldn't remember it. That's what I mean. I was glad that it was a different topic to some of the other film choices over the last couple of months. So yeah, I was up for it.
Cool. Damien.
See, for some reason, I thought this was a '90s film because when you said it last week, I immediately remembered watching it at someone's house, either pissed or stoned, laughing my tits off, which is a '90s memory for me for some reason. And, come the year 2000, yeah. So, but either way, that is my memory of it, is being late night. The party's probably ended. Let's put Shaolin Soccer on because no one wants to go to bed type thing.
Yeah.
I remember, like I say, laughing my tits off. But yeah, and that must have been around 2001 and not watched it since. So it was almost like rewatching it because obviously stone cold sober this time.
Yeah. Fair enough. I mean, for me, it was one of those films I found because many, many years ago on the internet, you used to be able to buy like DVDs from like other countries before they were out in this country, and it was like legal and stuff.
Yeah, good old play.com.
Play.com.
basically.
It was
Yeah.
Play. I think no. Or was it DVD? It was one of those anyway.
Yeah.
It was something like that. And this came up, and it was just like it was like their hot new release, or whatever, and I was like, well, that sounds cool. And then I got it, and then about 6 months later, it was in the cinema. And I still found that weird, but that was cool at the time. If you're ahead of the curve in those days, also it was cheaper.
Yeah.
That was when the pound was like really strong. None of you will remember that, especially
That's politics, kids.
Suppose all of you listen to this in the future when we had a pound. It was used to be strong before we resorted to stones and rubies. But yeah, and it was a really good. It was a good buy. It was bought basically on the poster or the DVD cover on a website that's CD Wow.
Oh yeah, that's
that
the
was
one.
it. CD Wow, and it was bought off of that, and it paid off.
Yeah.
Some of the ones I bought off they didn't, but that one paid off, and I think I just made everyone watch it ever since.
That's probably how I.
Yeah, but I wouldn't
watched
have been
it.
at a party like that.
No. Maybe you turned up later with, hey, look, I've got a DVD.
Don't go, everyone. Don't
just,
go.
Just finished his shift at Superdrug.
Yeah.
That's probably what did happen.
I must
or,
be.
or East Point.
Yeah,
I
probably
must have
East
been
Point
in
more
London at this point then, because I must have been spared from Brett turning up with his Shaolin Soccer DVD at the end of the night.
Yeah, but you've been there when
Brett,
I've tried
we want to
make
go
you
to
watch other
bed.
films.
No, we're going to watch Shaolin Soccer. Come on, everyone.
It's not the first one. I
I forgot.
And I've got
20
my
years ago, Brett sounded like he was a kid in Grange Hill. Come on, everyone.
And I've brought my Nintendo.
Did you see that this week?
Yeah.
The WWE ended about 25 years old
Yeah.
this week. Oh.
Yeah, and as I said in the text, I've still got the swollen thumbs to prove it.
And half a finger. It's
Yeah, and half a
tons of
finger
moves
now.
done. You won't be as good now.
No special moves for me.
No. But anyway, on with the plot then.
Okay, shall I start?
Go for it.
Okay. Singh is a master of Shaolin Kung Fu, whose goal in life is to promote the spiritual and practical benefits of the martial arts of modern society.
An honourable goal, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a bit obsessed, though. To be
Oh,
fair. He
yeah.
just like randomly stops people in the street. He experiments with various methods, but none bear positive results. He then meets Golden Leg, a
Golden Leg.
disgraced legendary Hong Kong soccer star in his day, who is now walking with a limp after being crippled from taking a beating he took from an angry mob after a match, which he had deliberately lost after taking a bribe from Hung, the coach of Team Evil. Singh explains his desires to Fung, who in turn offers his services to coach Singh in soccer, seeing it as a way of redemption for his past actions.
So you get a redemption story and an oral story.
Yep. He's no David Beckham though, is he? Golden Leg. It did make me
But
chuckle.
on the thingy translation, it's Team Demon. But on
Is
the
it?
subtitles, man.
Yeah,
they do it as
I
Team
watched the
Evil.
subtitle. No, sorry, I watched the what's the word?
Dubbed.
Dubbed. But it
Dubbed
says
version.
Team Evil then, no, but apparently it does translate as Team Demon. It's just one
Oh,
of
I
those.
see. Yeah.
But you get the idea.
Either work. You know they're not going to be nice
no,
guys.
just for someone to come in and go, actually, it was Team Demon.
Hung's even got the evil laugh as well.
Yeah.
hasn't
Yeah. I like, and the shade, like the Ray-Ban shade
Yeah.
kind of there.
The nice thin sort of
Everyone,
guitar cigar.
I do like, everything is.
I'm obsessed with guitars. I just can't get it off my head.
Yeah. You'll play again. You can do it, champ.
he? Either that, you could coach a band.
Golden Finger Hicks.
Uh,
Yeah, but I like it. Sets it up. It's very, very clear who the bad guy is. It's
Yeah.
clear who the good guy is. It's almost tongue in cheekly done, but just enough not too over the top. It's not like Naked Gun over the top.
No,
You know,
no,
what I mean?
no. I
It's
see what
kind
you're
of
saying. Yeah,
It's sort of still in.
but you're right. It sets the
within
tone.
real-
You know this is no 70s 80s kung fu film where it's almost played straight.
Yeah.
And not for this is, you can definitely tell this is being played for laughs.
Okay, carrying on then.
So Singh is compelled by the idea of promoting kung fu through soccer and agrees to enlist his former Shaolin brothers to form a team under Fung's management. Singh and Fung, that sounds like a band. Singh and Fung attempt to put together an unbeatable soccer team. After some failed attempts, Singh's brothers all agree to participate in the team. Fung invites a vicious team to play against them for a scrimmage, and the thugs proceed to give the Shaolin team a literal beating. When all seems lost, the Shaolin disciples reawaken and utilize their special powers, dismantling the other team's rough play easily. The thugs then give up and ask to join Singh's team.
Okay,
They're
so
not
you've
worthy.
missed a nice, really big chunk here
Well, it's
of
trying
when
to
they're singing in the
summarise-
bar.
Oh, go on then.
Because that for me makes the film. And I couldn't quite make out. Well, is the old guy the previous? I don't know what the
Yeah, he was
the
like
leader.
The old guy was like the star,
Yeah.
and then he got persuaded to take the bung to throw the
No,
game.
no.
Oh, in the bar.
In the bar, Singh goes to. Is he like the old master, the old Jedi master that was
I don't know.
the head of whatever the?
Yeah.
I don't know what these things. I'm not a huge kung fu film buff, so is he like? Was he like? What's the like?
Like a sensei.
That's
type
the word
thing,
I'm looking
yeah.
for. Is he the sensei? So
You
he
know
goes.
what, I can't remember now.
It's like they're in a bar stroke restaurant, and there's like, it's almost like we're going to put the band back together, and then they start
Yeah.
singing on stage with the guys throwing the bottles at him.
Kung Fu is brilliant.
Yeah, I am Tin Head or Steel Head or something.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
just
I can't
that's
remember now.
comedy gold, that is, and you've just completely skipped it.
I was trying to keep to the plot because everyone says that you try and put too much in, so I tried to keep it to the
Who says that?
Mr. 3 minutes.
No, I don't. Don't,
Boise.
don't land that at me. I never said anything.
Anyway, I
yeah,
just
but
wanted
yeah,
to.
no, but that is a cool bit.
That is
actually.
one of the funniest scenes in the entire film when they're up on stage singing, and it's like, "You are so bad. We are gonna kick the shit out of you."
I appreciate you have different tastes in music, but maybe it will grow on you. We are new to playing, and we will improve.
Yeah.
But I love the awakening moments though during the match. Like later on, they were just when the team's like just bashing the shit out of them, and then it's like dung, and like one guy's floating, dung, the other guy's like they're all in
Yeah.
their poses.
I've got to be honest. I was going to save this to sum it up, but I enjoyed more the bits where it's not
Oh yeah, no, I
the
did
soccer
enjoy that as
or
well.
not the,
But just
the
the bit of
kung
'cause
fu.
you're-
It's actually just the banter I loved.
but this is the bit like where
so
they
I kind
and
of
the
zoned
bit,
out a little bit.
and the bit where they got back together like on the rooftop as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Like the emotional kind of almost what did it remind
That was
me
almost
of?
like it was directed by John Woo.
Yeah, but it was very oh god, what's his face? Paul
Paul Weller.
Paul Weller.
What's his name? Robocop. Peter Weller,
Yeah, Peter.
Buckaroo Banzai kind of thing, where they all come walking in from
Yeah,
different
yeah.
directions, you know, and it's just sort of, yeah, we're back. And then matey's got like a scarf, matey's comb over is blowing in the wind and all that. And then when they actually awake and get their powers back or reconnect, and it's just those sort of almost, not origin stories, but those bits were quite cool. And just how like time froze and all that. And the manager's just like, Golden Leg is like, Fung, whatever it is, like, what's going on? You know, he's like, everyone else is like, in it, and he's just like oblivious to it.
Yeah.
Why's everyone stopped? What's happening and all that? And that bit was cool. And then we get the love interest. So Singh meets, I'm gonna say Mew.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of but a couple of times I say May, but I'm gonna say
I thought it was
Mew.
Moo.
Moo. That might be actually. That might be even part of the joke why she didn't like it. Yes, Singh meets Moo, a baker with severe acne who uses Tai Chi to bake mantou, which is like sort of
Like dumpling-y type
little loaf
thing.
of bread dumpling type thing. He takes
Buns. That's the word I was looking for.
Buns.
buns,
Because she has
Yeah.
really great buns. Is-
Sugary
which is
buns.
probably again
Sweet
Yeah.
part of
buns.
the. She's got really nice. Yeah, I bet that's lost in some of the thing. He takes her to look at a very expensive dress, a few dresses at a high-end department store after hours. She soon forms an attachment to Singh and even gets a makeover in an attempt to impress him. However, this backfires when Moo reveals her feelings to him. He tells her he only wants to be a friend. This revelation, coupled with the constant bullying from her overbearing boss, leads Moo to disappear.
Yeah, I thought that was a little bit harsh, to be fair. You know.
Well, he's obsessed with his mission to.
Yeah, but
bring
he's done the whole, there's the whole Michael Jackson Thriller routine they do, and it's like, I must sing to you because you make such great buns, or something along those lines. So it's like looks like he's doing all the chasing.
So I got a bit confused by this point because she does all the crying, and then I thought she instantly gets over it and goes for drinks with her friends at the bar.
Yeah,
Oh, she does.
well, yeah, it
Yeah.
looks like it.
Because I looked away for a minute and then I looked back and it's like, hold on,
Yeah.
she's just broken-hearted then, and now she's over it. It's like, oh, okay, good girl.
Yeah.
Girls, huh? In every culture. Yeah, but no, I like it because, he does seem to go through sort of a lot of effort
Yeah,
and then just sort of like, actually, no, I must do this. And I was going to say something else. Oh, there's a whole thing as well which we don't get, but the whole way through the film, well, she just speaks Cantonese, so they're
Oh, right.
speaking different languages. But because when it's subtitled, we just get what she says. So there's a whole thing of like, I think either he's the only one that does understand it, or that's the joke as it goes through, or there's some sort of thing there
right,
that
okay.
I've forgotten now. But she speaks Cantonese where they're all speaking Korean or whatever it is. But there's, someone can explain that. I know it's, obviously I know it's different languages, but there's some sort of way round, and that's what's funny.
fair enough.
But
Yeah, obviously it's
It made
lost
me
in
chuckle.
translation for us.
yeah, that's what I mean. It's a cultural thing that we don't get, that because I think if you speak one, you can speak both, or if you, I don't know, there's something to do with it, and that's why it's funny. But yes, but meanwhile,
So Team Shaolin enters the Open Cup competition in Hong Kong, where they chalk up consecutive and often ridiculously one-sided victories due to their special Shaolin techniques. They end up meeting Team Evil in the final, owned by none other than Hung. Team Evil has been injected with an American drug, granting them superhuman strength and speed, making them practically invincible. And they bring Team Shaolin back to reality when Team Evil's amazing capabilities prove more than a match for them. After Team Evil takes out Team Shaolin's two goalkeepers, Mu, who has shaved her hair and improved her face, reappears to be a goalkeeper for Team Shaolin.
Yeah, she looked like that bloke off The Last Airbender.
I was thinking of Monkey. The
Chipitaka.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
he calls it. He says you look like ET or something.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, why have you come in looking like ET?
Oh, Lothario himself.
Why don't you just go home like ET or something like
it's
that?
not like- and I love the fact that like we've got these American drugs that make you bigger. And
Yeah.
faster, so-
If
then
this was
they're
a
like-
Western film, it'd be
Yeah.
they'd be Russian drugs.
drugs. Yeah, it's like, and I can't remember if it's this bit or when they're training later on, but when they're like underwater and kicking the ball and all
Yeah,
the
yeah.
sort of Rocky IV science stuff, but
Absolutely,
over
definitely.
the top. Yeah. I loved all that. And but yeah, again, unique relationships. The goalie, I feel, this is the bit where he stole the film for a while.
Yep.
Where he's sort of, again, Bruce Lee.
Yeah,
And
he's even got the nose thing going on
Yeah.
anyway. He does the
He
scrape
does
across
it,
his
and then when they
nose.
carry him off on the stretcher, he's got the sunglasses on,
Yeah.
and he's laying like Bruce Lee laid on his coffin and all that. And it's just, the level for detail is amazing. Apparently, he went on and played Bruce Lee a few times after that because
Oh, right.
he looked like him. And what was the other thing I was going to say? Because this was the bit with the goalie. I can't remember what it was, and I argued this for ages, and no one knew what was going on about.
Without
But they-
other people.
Yeah, there were
You
other
weren't just
people there.
arguing it to
No,
yourself.
No.
The voices
And
in
the
his
voices.
head.
No, but there was an advert that ripped that off. You know, like where he's in goal and he has to
Yeah.
stop the car or stop the. There was an advert that done that, and then
Right.
the goalie got wet, and that was like, I was like, that's Shaolin Soccer. And everyone like, what the heck, Shaolin Soccer? And I'm like, you'll know one day. Come around my house. You just Shaolin Soccer, you
Watch
say?
Bargain I got from CD Wow.
Produces it from his pocket.
Out of a sleeve, like Ron Burgundy's flute. There we go. That's what it is. But no, they nicked that from an advert, and they nicked that and put it in an advert and ripped them off. But yeah, no, that was good. But yeah, Mew turns up to save the day using her bread making hand skills as a goalie.
Okay, in their final attack, Team Evil striker leaps into the sky and kicks the ball with enormous force towards Mu, who prevents him from scoring with her Tai Chi. Yu and Singh combine their martial arts and rocket the ball downfield. The ball plows through Team Evil's goal post, their boy scoring the winning goal. Singh is then thrown into the air in celebration as the trophy is presented to him and his team. Hooray!
A hard
Triumph
earned win,
over evil.
as always, and
Drugs don't work.
But it was just like that whole stadium moment. Yeah, no, it was just cool. I really liked it. It was and it was nice to see something like that, bright and colourful. Because I think a lot of those times when we see a lot of those films, it's always a bit dark because of the special effects or how they done it. But where it was like blatant CGI, I don't think they cared.
No.
It was almost pod racer like stadium. Like the
Yeah, I
real
know what you mean.
over the top kind of thing. So yeah, they win the game, and then we see a newspaper article that shows that Hung has been stripped of his title of soccer chairman and sentenced to jail for 5 years, while the players of Team Evil are permanently banned from playing soccer professionally. Singh goes out for a morning jog and feels joy at seeing the people around him practicing kung fu, my favourite, the lady parking the car, and implementing it into their daily lives, his lifelong dream having become a reality. The camera then pans to a large poster of Singh and Mew, who have since married and became famous for winning a world championship in bowling, among other things.
Which I always thought was that's a bit random.
Yeah, no, it's just like
That's the power of kung fu.
see, once it took over football, it spread. But yeah, there was some nice bits of that there. The woman parking the car, the lady falling over,
Doing the
banana.
old slip on the banana
Yeah.
skin.
and all those blokes that jumped on the bus.
Yeah.
Which is just a bit Matrixy, but over the top enough
Yeah.
to be quite cool. I liked it. Just some key points to sort of add on. Shaolin Soccer grossed, what was it 6? I can't even read
60
that
million
number.
Hong Kong
60
dollars.
million.
Yeah, the highest grossing film in the region's history at the time. It held that record in 2004 until it was topped by Stephen Chow's Kung Fu Hustle, which then took even more money. That's a US gross there. Yeah, so on a budget of 10 million, it made 42.8 million in US dollars. So that's quite a success.
It's not bad, is it?
And it still remains banned in mainland China because it didn't await certification before being released in Hong Kong. As we've said, it had references to a lot of his other films, there's a lot of other people, and anytime there's a Western version, Chow has dubbed his own voice,
Yeah.
which is cool. It is referenced in Kung Fu Hustle where his character in that stomps on a football and deflates it and shouts "No more soccer." And yeah, I did wonder about this, but I've not seen how much money they got for it. But the film contains a vast amount of Puma product placement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost every football boot in the film is Puma branded. Almost all the shirts, other than the Team Shaolin, are Puma, along with Puma ads and even a football transforming into a flaming Puma when it's kicked its speed.
Yeah.
So some blatant advertising there,
Yeah.
almost Wayne's World
Almost,
level.
yeah,
places,
almost
yeah.
as bad as Back to the Future when it comes to product placement, except it's just one product.
So thoughts, Mr. Hawkins?
Yeah, see, no.
No.
The problem is I didn't see it 20 years ago. So for me, there's been so many things that have come along since. As I mentioned, things like Anchorman, where the office, the reporters all get tooled up and have big fights. No disrespect to the film, it's just that I was looking at it thinking, okay, that's supposed to be funny. Didn't laugh once because as I said, if I would have been there 20 years ago, I'd have been swept up in it, and it probably would have been at the forefront of this kind of comedy. But no, for me, there's just been so much since, and that's probably a good thing for those things that followed it. They've taken inspiration from it. But because I've gone arse about face and watched everything else first, I'm now watching this 20 years after it came out, thinking, I don't know, it just didn't hit a chord with me on the comedy front.
Okay.
But that's the problem. It's not a problem with the film. It's the problem that I'm watching
I
it
see what you're saying.
in 2022. If I'd have been drunk or stoned back in the day with you guys, I'd have
I
probably
wasn't there.
been chuckling
I'd say that later.
chuckling along. But no, I just didn't find it funny.
Okay.
Ooh, Mr. Hicks?
I thoroughly enjoyed it. Again, as I said, as I kind of alluded to earlier, I did get a little bored with the set pieces, but I guess the actual soccer of it, because it just kind of went on a bit long. But the bits in between, I just found really funny. It's my
There's nothing wrong
sense
with
of
it.
humour, I guess.
No, it's cool. It's
So,
Yeah.
I just
didn't
you got
Well,
no
kind
soul,
of-
man.
just didn't do it for me.
Well,
I was watching it thinking, okay, that's funny.
Well, I was going to say that I thought it came across as pretty timeless because football's still football. There's not a, okay, maybe the kits or whatever might look outdated in a few years, or whatever. But it's a sort of football concept, or soccer.
No,
Sorry,
it's not the soccer.
And
not
it's
the
an
football.
age-old story of good
Yeah.
overcoming evil, and
the corrupt. They're
But-
going to corrupt them, and
As I
then they
mentioned,
overcome
this
it.
is not a diss on the
Oh,
film.
no, I'm not saying it's not.
It's just because
I'm
everything you watch has been done by something else, and over time, if you've watched everything else but not not Shaolin Soccer, then you've seen it all, just in many
In
different
reverse.
films.
okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not knocking it. But for me, it was sort of, it's a gag that's always going to be there because some things now, when you go back and watch them, they're not funny anymore because whatever it was based on isn't a thing anymore.
Yeah.
I can't think of one example
No,
now.
which is always the
But
way,
you know what I mean. But when it's like on, I don't know, something, you're like, well, no one uses that anymore, so it's not fun. No, you've got mail. Everyone's got it on their phones now, so none of those hilarious hijinks between Tom and Meg would happen nowadays,
Yeah,
or whatever, because it was shit.
I've never seen
but
it. But
nor have I. But
That's next week's film.
I don't even know if they were hilarious, but they made a load of films together, and me and my sister used to say they should do a mashup, and it should be You've Got AIDS. But it was but that's another story. But I thought it was a sort of a timeless thing. It was fun, and I enjoyed it as much this time as that. I'll go with you now that maybe some of the soccery bits. I preferred the matches, but some of the practicey bits, like there's one bit where he's just kicking it against a wall for ages and things like that.
yeah,
At the time, was groundbreaking CGI or whatever, but now it's a little bit. Maybe that's something that could be trimmed up a bit more. But
I thought the CGI was really good.
there's nothing wrong with it.
yeah,
My point with the
but they were showing
the
off
set
with it at the
pieces.
time. That was
yeah, like the bit when they're all kind of on the ground doing almost like doing breakdancing and the ball's going in the
Yeah.
air. When that's actually in a kung fu film, when it's fighting, it's good, but when it's just doing the same thing sort of for almost 3 minutes of just kicking
Yeah.
the ball up in the air and spinning around, well, yeah, okay, cool, that looks good the first couple of times you did it, but this has been going on for 2.5 minutes now. It's not that funny. So that's the only thing that let it down for me, but I'd quite happily sit down and watch it again, I think.
Okay then. So if we go round then, we'll start with Paul. Out of 10.
Oh no, this is
No,
gonna.
you can be honest. There's
Yeah,
no
yeah.
problem.
There's no wrong answers here.
I'd give it a 4
I'll
out
just
of
turn
10.
the heating off.
A 4 out of 10 from Paul.
Yeah,
Okay.
but as I said, that's probably because I've seen it only now, as opposed to falling in love with it all those years ago and then seeing everything that it gave birth to. But no, I did it the wrong way round.
Damien.
It's a 7 from me. So as I said, I thoroughly enjoyed it, but the set pieces were just a little too overdone.
I think if it's the first time, I think you're right. If it was the first time you'd watched it, I think you'd have liked them. But like you say, if you watch it again, so they do.
Yeah, you
go
kind
on
of
a
almost
bit,
let's just get to the next bit
Next
because
bit,
I've
yeah.
seen, we know what's
I
going
know
to.
I know what you
you
mean.
know.
No, I'd agree with that. I'd go. I was rating 6 or 6. No, I'd go 7. Because I think it's still there, and it's still the funny bits are still funny.
Yeah,
And like you say, and you sort of learn a bit more as each time you watch it because cultures have moved on a bit, and you learn a bit more about.
well, this is
the
I
different
genuinely
things,
forgotten about the bar scene when they're singing.
Yeah.
I just had no recollection of that, so I was proper pissing myself laughing at them. It reminded me of Father Ted, but My Lovely Horse.
Yeah.
It's that kind of just stupid,
Well, even
funny humour.
Like researching this and finding out that the actress was not that keen on how she was made to look and all that because she was like the beautiful pop princess or whatever else. I didn't realise that at the time.
No.
And then, like I say,
That's almost kind of shows like a no fear director.
And the fact
that's
that they call
willing
her,
to do
if
that.
it is Moo, if that was the tongue in cheek, and that she made nice buns. I don't know if that was something unnecessary. I probably picked up on the buns, but if it's there's little layers to it each time you go back, and I really want a Puma tracksuit. Don't know why, But okay then. So that was Shaolin Soccer. The closest we could get to linking it to the World Cup, and it was actually unintentional.
Yeah, it was either
initially.
that or bend it like Beckham, and that's not going to happen.
We're not watching that shit.
Or
Yeah.
one of those.
So
What was that really? What's that? Is it When Saturday Comes? That ridiculous film
Sean
starring
Bean.
Sean Bean.
I'd
Not
rather-
again. I haven't seen it, but
I'd rather do like
Football
Escape to
Factory or-
Victory or
I was gonna say,
ID.
yeah, that,
That could be a good one. When it's the
we
Euros,
did the
isn't it?
Euros with no ID.
Get everyone geared up. Yeah, and he's in Gumbo's in Andor.
Is he?
Yeah, he's Mon Mothra's chauffeur. I said the whole time like that, and I realised who it was. And it's like, but yeah, and he was in Press Gang many years ago, wasn't he? Yeah, but so that was Shaolin Soccer. It was our link to the World Cup, as I say. Next week we spin the film wheel round to Damien, and what have we got?
We have got a film called A Miracle Mile.
Miracle Mile.
Yeah.
Is this about someone who's like?
Sounds like a Sunday afternoon film.
Sounds Christmassy, doesn't it? Sounds all joyous and Christmassy. But alas, no, it's not.
Sounds like someone's ill and then they're not ill and then they do something cool.
It's like a Hallmark Channel 5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's one of them. It's just got sister
Highway to
sister
Heaven.
in it, and there's it better not be on the Christmas movie channel.
No, it's not. This is an apparently underrated 1989 film about the apocalypse.
Who's in it?
Ooh.
So in it is Anthony Edwards, Mayor Winningham, and Kurt Fuller. They're the biggest names I can reel off the top of my head.
Oh, so
I'm sure we'll do the rest next week. So yeah, I too haven't seen this film.
Ooh, what made you choose it?
So I literally saw a clip on TikTok of someone saying this is one of the most underrated films of the 80s, and I watched the trailer and thought, actually, it does look quite good, and I've not seen it or even heard of it. So,
And if anyone wants to play along at home, where can we watch this?
so this is available on Amazon to rent, £3.49, so not too expensive. Unfortunately, it's only in standard definition, so it's a little bit fuzzy.
But you want that 80s video sort of
Yeah.
thing. And I imagine
Well,
if
actually,
it-
saying that, that's only the trailer.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing because they do. If the whole thing's in HD, they'll do the whole thing in
Yeah.
HD. So
so if
and it
what
just
is
says
it,
SD.
$3.99 to rent, is it?
£3.49, something like that.
So, that'll probably be about $5.99 if you decide to buy it then.
Probably.
And okay then, so that is, say it again, sorry, that is
Miracle Mile.
So if you play along at home, A Miracle Mile, starring Anthony Edwards, Goose from Top Gun.
Yeah.
That's next week, so we'll see what that is. Damien doesn't even know what it is, so we're all excited.
No,
Have you
so I
seen it, Paul?
apologise in advance.
Have you seen it, Paul?
No,
Oh, it's a new one on all of us, which is strange.
that is a bit
Normally,
weird.
some of us have seen
Yeah.
something.
That is a miracle.
Yeah. So anyway, then we'll wrap this up now. My name has been Brett Summers. I have been your host this evening, and as always, I've been joined by.
Paul Hawkins.
And Damien Hicks.
And as I say, this is the Cult Faction Podcast, episode 81, Shaolin Soccer. If you want to moan about what we said, tackle us, see what I did there, at our mispronunciations or anything like that, you can email us at.
cultfactionpodcast@mail.com.
If you want to keep up with all the main things we're doing, you can visit the mothership, which is.
Cultfaction.com.
And we are also available on all different social medias. TikTok is on fire at the moment. Check us out for all our old adverts and stuff. And we did have a really cool clip of someone blowing up, but we're not allowed to have that on there anymore because TikTok told us off.
And that had over 100,000 views.
Yeah.
I
So
got a
keep-
violation warning.
So
Not
keep
the first
checking.
time.
If I persist, I will be banned.
Yeah. So keep checking back because there's cool stuff on there before the TikTok overlords take it down. We're also on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and all the other ones too. So, and also the really, really important thing: please like and review us on your podcast apps, especially the Apple Podcasts if you got that one, and anything like that. Share us, tell your friends, share it on your social medias themselves. Link to us. It all really does help.
Can we get a PO box so people can write in?
And an 081 number just so we can go 081 811 81 81.
And until then, we will see you again where we go down the Miracle Mile.
Yep.
This has been Confections. That's how we roll. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages.
And welcome to
Cult-
the Cult Faction Podcast! Yay!
That's kind of a mixture between Cheggers and David Essex.
I heard Ronan Rat.
Rippins!
We've just got back from crucifying Bobby Davro. How have you been?
Come on, let's do this thing.
Oh, you're in one of them moods, are you?
No.
Yeah.
It was good. What do you think? It was good. What do you think? It was good. Right, next episode.
I do want to get shouted at for talking about the film. I don't know much, but I know I love you, and that may be